Faithful, Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. Wow. I was not expecting this news, Faithful. I don't know about you guys, but man, the 49ers trade for running back Christian McCaffrey. Wow. I think this says that the 49ers are definitely all in on this season by pulling off this trade. For those that don't know, Christian McCaffrey had a hell of a career at the University of Stanford, which is in Palo Alto. I would say that's like an hour, maybe hour and a half outside of San Francisco. Christian McCaffrey is very, very familiar with the Bay Area. And yes, the 49ers did trade away multiple draft picks for Christian McCaffrey, but I think this makes sense. The Panthers were not just going to get rid of Christian McCaffrey. They were going to ask for a haul, and they definitely got a haul in return for running back Christian McCaffrey. Now, the 49ers are sending over next season's second round pick, third round pick, and fourth round pick in 2023, and also a fifth round pick in 2024. For those that are wondering, well, how many draft picks do the 49ers have? I already looked that up. So next season, the 49ers have 2 third-round picks, 2 fifth-round picks, 1 sixth-round pick, and 4 seventh-round picks. So they still have, 10 draft picks, a lot of draft picks. If they want to move up, they can, yada, yada, yada. But, man, that's a lot of draft compensation for running back Christian McCaffrey. Now, his first 3 years in the NFL, he was very productive, Faithful. He even had a 1,000-yard rushing and 1,000-yard receiving season for the Carolina Panthers. Christian McCaffrey already got the big contract extension. That's something that we'll also go over as well. He does have 3 years left on his contract. And appreciate everyone who's joining me for this live stream. Definitely, obviously, I wasn't planning on going live tonight, but when I saw the news, I just had to see what the faithful, the Niner Empire, thought of this news, and that's why this will be a call-in show. So I will drop that link. I would say maybe at the 8-minute mark, I'll go ahead and drop that link in the chat. I would love to hear from the faithful. What do you guys feel about this trade? Did the 49ers trade too much for running back Christian McCaffrey? I mean, as long as I think the question for me is as long as he can stay healthy. And for those who are concerned about his health, in 2020, that's when he started to have injuries. 2020, he only played 3 games. In 2021, he only played 7 games. Now, he's been healthy this year for every game so far, but you got to look at his carries that he's had since he started in the NFL season in 2017 for the Carolina Panthers. The first season with the Panthers, he had 197 touches. The next season, he had 326 touches, and then in 2019, he had 403 touches. So that's a lot of carries. That's a lot of impact. The guy's getting hit on every single play. So that is a lot of contact for a running back in a 3-year span. I'm excited to have Christian McCaffrey on this team. The only thing you can just hope he can stay healthy. And obviously the 49ers are the most banged up team in the NFL pretty much since Kyle Shanahan has been head coach. So that's concerning, but man, can you guys imagine a backfield when Elijah Mitchell comes back and he's healthy? Elijah Mitchell, Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, you got George Kittle, you got the Ayuk show, you got Jawan Jennings, hey, Danny Gray. Hey, we still got Danny Gray. So we have a plethora of weapons, and I think McCaffrey suits this scheme very well because we know Jimmy G doesn't like, well, I'll say this. Jimmy G so far has not been an accurate thrower when he throws deep. So Jimmy is most effective, from the line of scrimmage to the 15-yard line. So I think this suits McCaffrey well. McCaffrey can run the ball outside the tackles. He can be your slot receiver. He can do it all. He's proven that at Stanford. He's proven that with the Carolina Panthers. And yeah, I can't wait to see him in this offense versus the Chiefs on Sunday. I would anticipate he'll play. I don't see why he wouldn't. He is healthy. First, huge shout out to everyone that's in the chat right now. Comments will be read throughout the show. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, huge shout out to you. If you're on YouTube right now, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification. If this is the first time you've seen me, of course, I go by the name of Jay in the Bay, and I talk everything red and gold. So make sure you tune in, you subscribe, and let's start off with them comments. And I will open up the phone lines at the probably do it at the 8-minute mark. So feel free to call in to express your thoughts about this. I mean, this is a huge trade. Guys like Christian McCaffrey, they don't go on the open market. These guys aren't available in free agency. These guys aren't available really to be drafted. And this is an unbelievable talent if he can stay healthy that the 49ers just acquired. We got Matt Navarro in the building. What's good? Matt says, you think because with Trey Lance injured and no Elijah Mitchell, we picked up McCaffrey? I would say any NFL team would want a Christian McCaffrey on their squad. He immediately makes your backfield much better, much better. I think the Panthers are probably going into a rebuild mode. You know, the Panthers just fired their head coach, Matt Rule, and hey, they want the picks. You know, they got 4 picks for one player. I mean, that's a good trade from the Panthers standpoint, especially if you don't think you're going to be a playoff team. So I think it makes sense for the Panthers to trade. I think this adds another spark. It's funny. I was on with the 49ers cutback earlier today. Huge shout out to the 49ers cutback. We did the What's Good show today, and I did my prediction for the Chiefs game. And one of my Jay's 5 big things was I think this offense needed a spark. I didn't think they would necessarily go out and trade for it, but that's what Christian McCaffrey does for this team. It's a spark for the offense. It's another weapon for Jimmy G. And that's what this team, the 49ers, have struggled with so far in the season. Y'all seen the numbers. We can't score in the second half to save our life. And adding a weapon like Christian McCaffrey, I mean, it's like a godsend, man. It's like a godsend for sure. KD, what's good? How you doing tonight, KD? I hope all is well. KD says, hello, Jay in the Bay. What do you think about this trade we made? I like the trade. It is a lot of compensation. And to play devil's advocate, hey, we're giving up 4 draft picks for a running back. That kind of seems crazy when, hey, Elijah Mitchell was a really good running back. He was a 6th-round pick. So if you're talking about, hey, just trading for a running back and you're giving away 4 picks, and, you know, that is a lot of compensation. But I think this tells the fan base, at least in my opinion, that we're all in on this season. I think it's obviously if McCaffrey gets hurt, it's a bad trade, right? But if McCaffrey is productive and he's healthy, and we're not going to ask McCaffrey to be the bell cow back. We're not going to ask him to carry the ball 30 times a game. At least I would hope not. I mean, I know clearly McCaffrey's the best running back on the roster right now, but hopefully Shanahan won't have him, you know, play, you know, every snap. We know that Shanahan loves to ride the hot hand. But, hey, this is a marathon of a season. This is not a sprint. So, you know, hopefully, you know, we use him sparingly and we use a platoon of running backs and not just have one guy, you know, toting the rock. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and drop the StreamYard link in the chat. Feel free to call in. And usually I give people that call in about 5 minutes. I think I'm going to stick to that. And, you know, everyone is more than welcome to call in. You don't have to be seen on camera. You can just, you know, hey, we can just hear your voice. whatever is comfortable for you. But feel free to call in and express your thoughts about this trade. Matt Navarro says this means we're using a different scheme because Jimmy G is a statue and the line sucks. I think Jimmy G has been somewhat mobile. I mean, he's not obviously Trey Lance. He's not, Lamar Jackson or whatever. But Jimmy has been able to, move in and out of the pocket to the best of his ability. But I don't think much changes with the scheme. I mean, it's still going to be a horizontal passing game, and that's what Jimmy does his best. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see, will McCaffrey get as many targets in the passing game, or will he be utilized more in the running game? I don't know, but that's up to the mad scientist and Kyle Shanahan to figure that out. But yeah, man, it's going to be very interesting, how Shanahan decides to use him. And I think as far as the offensive line, I think Brendel's been a disappointment, but I think the two guards, the first-year starters, Banks and Burford, I think they've been pretty well. I think they've done pretty well so far. Hopefully we'll get Trent Williams back. And then McGlinchey, I don't know about the status of him. I know McGlinchey got hurt in last week's game. So we'll see the status of that. But we do have a caller on the line. Let's get this caller in. And he goes by the name of Corey Davis. I like to call him KD. What's good? How you doing tonight, KD?
All good.
Man, what are your thoughts, man, on this trade? I didn't see it coming. Did you see this trade coming? Did you think the 49ers would trade for a guy like Christian McCaffrey?
That's why I was trying to ask you, did you see it was coming? That's what I meant when I asked you. I was trying to see, like, did you see this coming? No, I did not see this coming. Even I was on somebody else's show, and then the other guy said, "Oh, we could trade 2 first-round picks for." I said no. And I said no. We ain't gonna give no 2 first-round picks for no Christian McCaffrey. And then I said, I don't think we're gonna trade for a running back because we got Mitchell coming back pretty soon. And I didn't think, if we would trade for somebody, I thought we would trade for offensive lineman, center or something, or defensive lineman.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised. There were rumors that the 49ers were one of the interested teams in trading for McCaffrey, but we've made draft selections for running backs in the last 2 drafts. We brought over Tevin Coleman, so I was definitely surprised. And what do you think? Yeah, I definitely would not have liked if we gave 2 first-round picks. I don't think we have a first-round pick next year, but I mean, what did you think? Do you think this was too much to trade for? Let's just face it, the last 2 years, Christian McCaffrey has been an injury-prone running back. He's only played 10 games the last 2 years. He's been healthy every game this year, so that's a plus. But the 49ers sent over 3 draft picks for next year's draft. That's the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th, and also a 5th-round pick in the 2024 draft. Do you think that was too much compensation? What are your thoughts, man?
It's cool. I'm looking at it and say, okay, that may be a good pick if Cal, like you just was talking about a minute ago, don't run him as a cowbell,
Right.
Use him every down. I would like to see him. He come in right now. Do you think he's gonna play this Sunday?
Yeah, absolutely. And if I had to guess, I would say he plays anywhere between 10 to 15 snaps. Now he does have to learn the new playbook, right? But so today is Thursday. The Niners practice tomorrow. He'll be suiting up, I'm sure. He'll be practicing. So he'll only really have 1 practice day, and then he'll have a walkthrough on Saturday. So, how much of the playbook will he be able to pick up? I'm sure they'll use him sparingly. But, yeah, like I said before, I just hope they don't use him as a bell cow back, because he had almost 900 touches in Carolina, his first 3 seasons in the NFL, and then he got banged up. So hopefully Shanahan doesn't use him like that. Shanahan does have a tendency of riding the hot hand, but sometimes he needs to give other backs an opportunity to run the ball. That's what I'm hoping for. But we do have Christian McCaffrey under contract for the next 3 seasons. He's making a whole lot of money, but it ain't my money. It's Jed York and the 49ers money. So, that's not really a huge deal. But yeah.
What number you think you're going to wear?
Some people were talking about that as well, man. He wore number 5 at Stanford. Now, obviously, Trey Lance has number 5. Number 22, Jeff Wilson Jr. has. And, when players want a specific number, they know what they have to do. They got to give up that bread. They got to give up that money. And McCaffrey, he got money. That ain't no issue. So that's something else that'll be interesting. I wonder if he could wear like number 1. I don't think any. Oh no,
Jimmy Ward
wears that, right? Jimmy Ward wear number 1. Yeah. So I don't know. That's gonna be a good question, man. That's gonna be a good question. We'll see what number he wears in practice. But let me ask you: do you think McCaffrey will play on Sunday?
If he does, I think it's gonna have to be that Coach Kyle got some kind of plans here for him.
Right.
They could just come in and do it. Like if I let him play, I might bring him in third downs.
Like be the third down back and maybe go out and catch passes or something. Yeah. I know. And look what Matt Navarro said. Now defenders are going to have to cover Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, and McCaffrey. Man, who do you cover? Who do you cover on this offense, man?
Yeah,
that's crazy. Hey, man, but I appreciate the call tonight, KD. Man, you have a great rest of your night, and I appreciate you calling in tonight, man.
Yep. Please, can I say something about my channel?
Absolutely, yeah, man.
Can y'all please come subscribe to Corey Davis on YouTube every Sunday night and Wednesday? I come on do my shows. So you come to Corey Davis and subscribe to my channel.
Absolutely, man. Check out Corey Davis on YouTube. That's where you do your picks, right?
Yep.
Absolutely, man. Hey, appreciate you coming on, man. You have a good rest of your night.
You too.
All right, man. That was Corey Davis. We also have another caller who just called in. Let me know if you're ready, Tommy. I just wanted. Okay, yeah, I see you. Okay. So we got Tommy in the building. What's good?
What's good, baby?
Glad to meet you. Glad to meet you, Tommy.
Finally, huh?
How you doing, man?
Fucking, excuse my language. I'm so excited, man. That's crazy. I was in my car going to get something at the store, and I was like, they heard on the radio. I'm like, oh my god. But I thought it was excessive.
I thought it was a joke. I didn't believe it at first until I checked a few sources, and I was like, holy smokes, man.
I know. No, I'm not.
Crazy trade. Crazy. Hey, do you think McCaffrey will suit up on Sunday?
He's going to be suiting up for goal line packages and special teams.
Okay. All right. So do you think he could be a punt returner? I didn't even think about that.
I don't know, but when we had someone go for special teams, what happened? Last time.
Yeah, he did do that in college. I don't know if he did punt returns for the Panthers. I would doubt it. I mean, they used him a lot as a running back. They used him a lot as a receiver. I don't know why they would put him in at punt returner as well. You got to give him a breather sometime. But yeah, he definitely has the ability. That's for sure.
I would just put him at goal line packages, honestly.
And then he could run the ball, or he could go out and pass patterns. Yeah, that would work. Or like KD said, he could be the third down back, play action, go out for routes.
What are you doing?
It's time for Tommy to go now.
No, it's not. Get off me.
Bye. Bye,
happy life, Tommy.
I just got on. Get off me. Hell, God Almighty.
Hey,
Jesus.
one more question for you. Do you
About
think
to get off.
that was too much compensation for
I'm gonna keep
Christian
coming in.
McCaffrey?
One sec. Yeah, I thought it was a bit much, but
Bye, everybody.
get off me.
Time to eat dinner and drink wine. Bye.
No, I thought it was excessive, but we don't need those damn picks.
We don't care.
Mm.
No.
We don't care.
Get off me. I don't mind it. Let me just get my point across here. But we don't screw those picks. We usually get we find gems in the late round and undrafted
No one
ones.
cares. No one cares.
Oh my God. She hates football. She likes baseball though.
Bye.
All right. Well, anyway,
Bye.
I'm super excited. The Lambs are having nightmares right now, and I'm loving
Who
it.
cares? Toodles.
Hey, Tommy, I'll let you go, man. You have a good night, man.
All right. Good talking to you.
Likewise. That was Tommy, man. I appreciate Tommy. You're more than welcome to call in anytime, Tommy, and the same for you, KD, as well. We do have another caller on the line. We have 1/4 of Straight Out of the Bay. What is Straight Out of the Bay? Straight Out of the Bay is a group of 4 of us, myself, the gentleman I'm about to bring on, Bay Area Baller 18, Amin, the Dream. We go live every Monday night, usually right after the Monday night football game, and we rotate. Sometimes we go on my channel, sometimes we go on everyone else's channel. But let's bring this gentleman in who goes by the name of Kelts Chronicles. What's good? How you doing tonight, Kelts?
Yeah. Man, what up, man? Hey, bro. So I've been ghost, the past couple of days, or it feels like a good week. But bro, so I just step out on my porch, man. I haven't been on nothing. And typically I'm always on everything. But man, my neighbor told me, I'm like, man, the 2 days that I kind of go ghost, you know what I'm saying? We finally hit a big trade, man. It feels, and the first thing that I thought of was like, no way, like that's what's up, man. And then I was just kind of like, man, when is the last time we made a big trade, bro? It's like I can't remember. I know we got Kavarius Ward in the offseason and whatnot. And hey, besides that, hey, what's up with you, Jay? Man, I'm excited, man. I got a smile. I don't know, even all I seen was breaking news. I haven't seen any details. I quickly seen it, hit the YouTube button, seen you live. It's like, hey, I gotta go get the info from my man Jay in the Bay.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, we gave up a second, a third, and a 4th round pick in next year's draft. Plus, we gave up a 5th round pick in 2024. That's a lot of picks for Christian McCaffrey. It's a lot of picks for a running back. But as you said, man, I saw the notifications and I was like, nah, this can't be true. Checked ESPN, bam. Now, if it's on ESPN, it's legit, man. So I was like, wow, what a trade. I think this tells you, does this mean the 49ers are all in on this season?
Man, I mean, so a 2nd, 3rd, and 4th for next year?
Yep.
And then we already don't have our 1st, right? Or is that next year too?
Right.
Man, it looks like we're all in on not just this season, but hey, how long are we keeping him for? Hey, I'm already.
He's got 3 years left on his current contract.
Okay. Yeah, and I ain't buying all the injury prone stuff with him. Hey, I think it's a perfect. I mean, it's Christian McCaffrey. The man played for Stanford. It just feels like a perfect fit. It feels like, hey, man, and we seen what he was doing. We see what he does when he's healthy, man. So I'm just like, I'm already thinking about Trey Lance and Christian McCaffrey, and oh my God,
in the
bro,
backfield together, yeah. And you bring in Elijah Mitchell, you got Debo. It's like, who do you guard on this offense, man? I think it's an incredible trade. I think this could be the greatest trade in the Lynch-Shanahan era. We know they picked up Emmanuel Sanders, in 2019, and I know I saw something that Lynch had made a trade at the deadline or before the deadline, I think in 2 or 3 consecutive seasons. So we brought over other players. I think Charles Omenihu might have been a trade as well. that happened in 2021, maybe. I know we traded for Jordan Willis as well. So yeah, Lynch has no problem willing and dealing, and he's willing to make trades at the deadline. But this may be his finest work. I know in 2017 he traded for the left guard, Iron Man, the gentleman who I don't know why his name is escaping me, but he left in free agency this season to the Jets. Exactly, Laken Tomlinson. He traded for Laken Tomlinson. It might have been like a 5th round pick in 2017. That was a hell of a trade as well. But yeah, my only concern is can he stay healthy? I know he was used as a bell cow back in Carolina. I mean, his first 3 seasons with Carolina, the man had over 800 touches. So I mean, they used him up. Hey, they paid him well, but I don't think, hopefully he won't be used like that with the 49ers. Question I've been asking other people, do you think he suits up this weekend?
I hope so. Why? Well, I mean, why not? You know, I mean, I know you got to know. Who knows? Who knows with Shanahan, man? Because I mean, you know, you don't want him out there looking, you know, not knowing protections, not knowing certain situations.
Right.
Who knows how long behind the scenes he might have already been under the assumption he was coming here. So who really knows? Like, you know, I hope so. I hope he does, and I hope he, you know, shines and don't make mistakes. And that would be dope. Man, it's just a lot, man. You know, I literally found out probably like 10 minutes ago, 10, 15 minutes ago. So I'm just, and then I heard what they said at first. They wanted a couple of 1st round picks.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, I'm kind of, you know, freestyling even my thoughts and processing it all right now, man. So it's dope. I'm juiced up about it. I mean, initially it's like, hey, let's go. Like, even besides next year, the 49ers right now feel like that team that could beat anybody and lose to anybody. So who knows? Maybe this is that spark. Maybe, you know, to where things start chugging in the right direction, just like we did last year on that 7-2 run. Maybe we're going to start that 7-2 run. Huh?
This gets started right now.
Hey, let's do it, man. Hey, let's go on this run and let's find an identity. The one thing that's so frustrating, man, is like, how are we continuously searching for identity with the core that's been intact? It's like, let's get the identity. Let's play some 49er football. Shanahan, you know I love you, man.
Really?
Nah, man, I don't got
you
no
with the jokes tonight, Kelts.
man, I go stupid hard, and sometimes I do over exaggerate on purpose. Just maybe that, you know, maybe some noise will be heard, and maybe that'll stir a fire under somebody to be like, okay, watch this. You know, it's not too often I play games, and you know, sometimes I do put a little extra on it. You feel me? So yeah, it is what it is. But hey, it's all love for the team, man. No matter what, like real talk. Like, you know, I'm, you know, trying to. Hey, hopefully this could reignite everything. And
I mean,
hey,
this has to speak to the players in the locker room. Like, hey, man, we're all in on this season.
Oh yeah.
When you trade 4 draft picks for a talent like a Christian McCaffrey. I mean, you add him to this backfield and this offense. I mean, man, it's going to be incredible to watch. Yeah, and I think he will play on Sunday. You know, there's practice tomorrow. Hopefully he'll practice tomorrow because he played every game this season for the Panthers. So he's clearly healthy. That's not an issue. There'll be a walkthrough on Saturday. And, you know, I'd imagine he'll be on a few plays on Sunday. And I think that's, man, now the Chiefs have to game plan for Christian McCaffrey. Man, that's I wouldn't want to be in their shoes. That's for sure.
What are the injuries that he's had? Do you know?
That's a great question. Off the top of my head, I don't know, but the last 2 seasons he's only played 10 games. So they were, you know, serious.
But he did play the first
he played the first 6 games this season though. So, you know, he was healthy.
But the first his first few years he played consecutively though, right?
Yeah. So his first 3 years he played in all 48 games. His first 3 years played in all 48 games. And then in 2022 and 2021 he only played 10 games.
And he
So,
also had a ton of touches in those first 3 years.
oh yeah, over 800
So,
touches. Easy.
so I mean, he's shown that, you know, that he can do it. And then, you
Yeah.
know, he hit a couple of rough patches, like almost every football player except for Jerry Rice, but then it still came to get him toward the end of his career.
Absolutely.
But I always think about Jerry, man, like, man, I think he went his first 12 years consecutively or something like that. Or I think about people like Cal Ripken Jr. I don't know if you know who that is in baseball.
Oh yeah.
But,
Yeah, he leads the MLB in what consecutive games played. So
like 2,100 games consecutive.
That
Like,
record
I mean,
will never ever be broken.
ever.
Not in this era.
Ever. The true Iron Man of but you know, hey man, so I got all the faith in the world. Man, I'm just juiced, man. I can smile. It just all smiles, man. You know, hopefully this is that move where we can look back on and be like, hey man, that's when
I turned the season around.
That's when, you know, not even the season, man. It's just like that's when all of a sudden 49er football got back to just like kind of 49er football, and it wasn't just this constant Jekyll and Hyde and drama series and up and down and back and forth. Sometimes it happens that way. Sometimes it could be that one move or that one person, or you know, and hopefully this is that. You know what I'm saying?
I think so.
I like boring. I like consistency. I like winning. And you know, if it's boring, consistent, and winning, I'm all for it, man. So man, I'm juiced.
Hey, I appreciate you calling in tonight, man. And make sure you guys check out Kelt's Chronicles on YouTube. He's also got TikTok. He's got Twitter. He's got IG. He's got it all. Make sure you guys check him out. And I'll see you Monday night for the Straight Out of the Bay show, man. I'll see you then.
Yes, sir. Hey, you stay up. You stay blessed, Jay.
All right, same to you. Have a good night, man.
Yee.
All right. Yee. All right, that was Kelt's Chronicles. We have another caller as well. Let's bring in this gentleman. Goes by the name of Jag. What's good? What you think about this trade, Jag?
It's pretty excited, man.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. See, I'm happy because it shows that we're not just, happy to be where we're at. We are going for it. We are going for it. To hell with the picks. We don't know what they're going to turn out, but we know what Christian McCaffrey can do. As a matter of fact, last week, he ripped the Rams. Okay? Right. The Rams right now are thinking, oh, shit. Right? That's what they're thinking. That's what they're thinking. They're saying, oh, shit. Now what? We just saw what he could do. And now we put him with the Niners. That's a good thing. Because can you imagine if the Rams would have got him? Oh, man. That would have been terrible for us. Yeah. So and also, can you tell me if don't we get one comp pick or a couple of comp picks already besides whatever we gave up, or what's the deal with that?
So that's a good question, and I looked that up today, and there was an article written about it pretty much right after the Christian McCaffrey trade, and the article said that we have left 2 third-round picks next season, 2 fifth-round picks, 1 6th-round, and 4 7th-round picks. So I would assume that includes the compensation we got for Mike McDaniel getting and D'Amico Ryans, most likely this will be his last season, so we should get a comp pick for him as well. And the 49ers have done pretty well on day 2 and day 3 picks in the draft. So I think it's a win-win. It is a lot of picks, though. It's a lot of picks.
Yes, but and the other thing about it is, McCaffrey with the injuries. Well, when you go to the Carolina Panthers and you're the only guy, you're the only offensive guy, yes, all the defense is just going to be on you, and he took a lot of hits. Now coming to over here to the Niners, it's more diversified. We have more weapons. We don't have to just use him, So I think it's going to be a lot better for him health-wise and for us too.
No, absolutely. I mean, you put him with Debo, with Elijah Mitchell, with Ayuk, with Kittle. I mean, it's just tons of weapons. It's like, who do you guard on this team? And I can't wait to see him. Do you think he'll suit up on Sunday?
I think so. I think so. I think they're probably gonna do that like tomorrow, or I don't know. He's probably coming already, right? You would think that
Yeah,
he's already on
yeah.
his way over here.
Someone in the chat said he'll fly out tomorrow. I think he should be ready for practice. I know the 49ers practice tomorrow. There'll be a walkthrough on Saturday. So, yeah, he should be present for both of those. And I anticipate he'll play as well. And that'll be a nice treat for the fans who are attending the game to get to see Christian McCaffrey. You know, he starred at Stanford. And for those that don't know, that's in Palo Alto, California. It's about an hour and a half away from San Francisco. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great homecoming for running back Christian McCaffrey, and Jim Harbaugh and the 2020 or the 2012 49ers will be on hand for the game as well. So, man, it's going to be
So I'm excited, man. I'm excited, man. And so anyway, I just wanted to thank you for your time again. And you know what? I have it. This is my scenario, and this was before we got McCaffrey. I said, okay, the Chiefs will have a 27-21 lead, and we're going to get it with 3 minutes and 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Jimmy's going to drive us down, and we're going to get the winning touchdown. It's going to end up 28-27 Chiefs. Hey, I can dream. I can be crazy. That's okay.
I think, honestly, I would take that scenario right now. I would take that scenario. And hey, Jimmy G has led some game-winning drives. But I think this 49ers team will have to match point for point with the Chiefs.
Yes.
I think our defense isn't, without Mooney Ward being out there, I just don't think this defense can be as good. Bosa, we know he's nicked up with the groin. We should be getting Trent Williams back, which is good for the offense. But Kinlaw's going to be out. Armstead most likely won't play. So we'll see what happens. We'll see.
But our offense, as long as our offense can control, this is what we need. We need to control the ball, control the clock, keep Mahomes on the sideline. And if that works out, and then we get it, we got to score touchdowns. Hey, but you stay blessed, and I love your show. I've been with you for a long time. I appreciate your hard work, and you take care, and you stay blessed.
Appreciate the call, man. Stay blessed as well to you, and you're always welcome to call in, Jack. Appreciate you coming.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, take it easy. All righty, that was Jack, and we have another caller in the building. Let's bring this gentleman on. He has his own YouTube channel. You guys know him, I'm sure. Goes by John J, aka the 49er Ultimate Report. What's good? How you doing tonight, John?
I'm doing good as always, just living life, enjoying everything. And of course, we're all talking about Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah.
I want to talk about something that, a lot of people are probably going to give me a hard time, because when I look at my 49ers, I'm always very critical of them. Right. And I talked about Christian McCaffrey many times this week, because everyone was asking me if we're going to trade him. And I agree with the last caller. When being in Carolina, he was the number one option, running the football, catching the football. And when you look at the 3 seasons he played, in his first 3 seasons, he really carried the load. He carried the load basically. In back-to-back seasons, he was averaging 2,000 all-purpose yards. He was basically a 100 receiver as well. So a running back with those many catches plus running the football, that's called a bell cow. You overwork that receiver. And, of course, in 2020, he only played 3 games, injured. Last year, missed 10 games. He was injured. This year, he started in every game, so probably, they were able to get him healthy. But another thing that really worries me about us is what we do to our running backs. They get hurt. They get hurt. And it's really scary, the talent that McCaffrey is. So if McCaffrey, plays really well, it's somehow, he's hurt. That's the thing that's really scary. And I hope that doesn't really happen. And I'm rooting for the guy. Like, just because I did not want him does not mean I don't want him on the team. It's the same thing with Jimmy Garoppolo. I didn't want him on the team, but guess what? I'm going to root for Jimmy Garoppolo. And that's what you want to do. You want to root for the players. And I'm going to root for this kid to be successful, to stay healthy, rush for a bunch of touchdowns, do what he's supposed to be doing. So I'm very excited to see what he's going to be able to do. I will say this: I don't think he's going to suit up, and hopefully I'm wrong. But again, he has to fly over here. And he won't be able to practice tomorrow because he'll be just talking to the media. Saturday he'll probably have 1 day of practice, and I don't know if Kyle is going to rush him. So we'll see what Kyle does. What is the decision? But I'm excited to see what he's going to be doing on the Niners.
No, absolutely, man. I appreciate your thoughts. And yeah, I mean, I hope he plays on Sunday. And even if he does play, I don't think he's going to play like 20 or 30 snaps. He still has to learn the playbook. He's got to learn protections and all that stuff. And yeah, if he comes in for 5 to 10 plays, I think that would be great. But you made a great point about the way Shanahan uses his running backs, and they always get hurt. So that definitely is a concern for the 49ers, for fans and all that. Now, looking at the draft compensation, I mean, we gave away a lot of draft picks, 4 draft picks for a running back. And granted, he's been a hell of a running back when he's healthy, as you mentioned it, 1,000-yard rushing, 1,000-yard receiving season. Do you think this is too much compensation for McCaffrey, especially since we just drafted Elijah Mitchell, we drafted Trey Sermon, TDP, the list goes on. What say you?
Yeah, so basically, just like everyone has reported, all the NFL insiders, that we get McCaffrey and the Panthers get basically our 3 picks, our 2nd round, 3rd round, and 4th round. So we are getting a compensation. I'm not sure if, say, hypothetically, I don't want D'Amico to go. He's a really good coach, but it's the NFL. We'll probably get compensation for that.
Right.
We'll probably get also compensation in the 5th round. I don't think we're going to have a 4th round. So I think we're going to have possibly, if we're lucky, 2 compensations in the 3rd round, and then no compensation for the 4th. We'll probably get a bunch of compensation in the 5th round. We always do well in the 5th round.
Yeah.
So of course we still have our 6th round pick. I'm not sure how many 7th round picks we have, but the Niners, they can still move up depending on how many picks we have, because you can move up. Like the old rule was that you can never trade compensation picks, but now they changed it. So you can trade your compensation picks to move up or move down, whatever the team wants to do. So even though we may not have, of course, the 1st round for Trey Lance, that's still going to affect us this year. We're not going to have a 2nd round pick. So we will be picking at the bottom, after the 3 rounds. And we're probably going to get some hidden gems, next season. I do have to say about the draft picks, and I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but you always want to have your draft picks to build, even when you have good players, because you can lose players, and not having draft picks really does hurt. And we have a good mutual friend, good friend of ours, Payo Time, and we talked about this off camera many times, that they have a lot of good talent, but they don't have a lot of compensation for the future. So, even Payo worries sometimes about not having the compensation. So I want to give him a shout out as well. He's a good dude.
Absolutely. Shout out to Payo, excellent LA Rams content creator. You mentioned the draft picks next season, and that's something that I thought of as well. I was like, dang, we giving away all those picks. What do we have next year? So there was an article that came out right after the McCaffrey trade, and it talked about the 49ers draft picks. So next season, this is what we currently have. We have 2 3rd-round picks, 2 5th-round picks, 1 6th-round pick, and 4 7th-round picks. So we do have the option, if we really want to move up, maybe into the 2nd. If we really see a guy that we want to go after, we can trade multiple picks to move up. The 49ers have done that on several different occasions. So I like the move. You just got to hope he stays healthy, but I think at this point it's out of anyone's control. We know football is a contact sport. Guys get hurt all the time. But, man, this is a weapon. This is a weapon that we're adding to this offense that already has a lot of playmakers. And Jimmy's strength is between the line of scrimmage and 10 to 15 yards down the field, and I think that's right in Christian McCaffrey's wheelhouse. So I'm excited to see how they use him, with this offense. How do you think they're going to use him? Do you think he'll be let's say not this week, not next week, but let's say after the bye week? Do you think he could potentially be the starting running back that Jeff Wilson Jr. currently has?
Like, I, basically, did not think about, of course, we just picked them up. But this just popped in my head when you were asking me this question. The way we use Deebo Samuel, I think is what we're going to use Christian McCaffrey. I think he'll catch passes, but I think he'll help Deebo be that that wide receiver, because everyone was talking about, he doesn't want to be a running back, but Deebo says he doesn't care. He'll do that. So imagine you have a Deebo lining up in the backfield with Christian McCaffrey. Wouldn't that scare a lot of teams? Or if you have both these guys line up as wide receivers and one of them is motion, oh my gosh, the defensive coordinators are going to have a big headache. So when I look at Christian McCaffrey, imagine you have both, these guys, Deebo and McCaffrey, motioning the linebackers, and everyone's going to be, what's going to happen?
Yeah, who do you guard? Guard?
So that's an idea that's just popped in my head. So we'll probably see a lot of that.
There's a lot of guys, a lot of playmakers on the squad, and it's going to be like, who do you guard? And this makes Jimmy's job easier. And I didn't even think about it, but it does take carries off of Deebo Samuel possibly, so maybe he can be a better wide receiver. Maybe we don't have to use him in the backfield. Maybe if we want to in playoff games, maybe he can run. But this helps Deebo Samuel. Question, appreciate that super chat, KD. He says, great question. Who do we release to make room for CMC? Who do you think, John Jay?
So, of course, we do have to release someone. Probably, after they clear waivers, they'll be on the practice squad.
Right. Like
for me, this will be very tricky for me, because I think we might put one of our secondary players, have to release them, because we do have depth there. I'm not sure if they'll let one of our running backs, because and I don't want to say this because I know a lot of people are so angry. Jordan Mason move, because then you have to waive him, and then hopefully no one picks him up. So hopefully the Niners figure out who they're going to waive. But yeah, they do have to make room on the team. So we'll see what happens. Maybe a defensive line is a little bit short right now because a lot of people are injured there. So I'm going to go probably with either one of our running backs or one of our secondary players.
Yeah, I would agree. They could pull from the running back room because right now, Elijah Mitchell's still out, but when he comes back, you have to make room for him as well. I know the 49ers just picked up the quarterback that we cut. We brought him on for like 2 weeks, then we cut him. I think he's on the practice squad now. That could be an option to maybe cut him, move Jordan Mason back to the practice squad. I know we have every week there's only a certain amount of players you can actually protect so that other NFL teams can't get that practice squad player. But the running back room is looking very crowded right now. And I think it's either Jordan Mason or Tevin Coleman, probably the odd guys out. And we still have TDP. So McCaffrey, TDP, Jeff Wilson Jr., Elijah Mitchell when he comes back. So hey, it's a crowded room, that's for sure, man. But I appreciate you coming on to my stream tonight, man. Make sure you guys check out the 49ers Ultimate Report with John Jay. And great news for tomorrow's Friday. I'm sure we're still going to continue to talk about it. But man, I appreciate your thoughts tonight, John Jay.
And appreciate always having me on, talking to you. And again, I always want to say this: if you're new to the channel and you've been watching the stream, you got to subscribe to Jay in the Bay. You're doing yourself a disservice. He knows his stuff. I consider him like a mentor of mine because I have a lot of respect for you. I look up to you as a content creator, and hopefully I can even be one day like Jay in the Bay. But I'm still working, so I wanted to say that because I'm always humble.
I appreciate the kind words, man. But you do a lot of work on your channel. I see the grind. And yeah, man, we'll definitely have to link up in the future for sure. But yeah, man, continue that grind, John Jay. And I appreciate you coming on tonight, man.
Yeah. And then I want to say a quick shout out to my boy, Corey Davis. He's been going through a hard time, health-wise. So I want to say, Corey Davis, hopefully these contents help you out because I know we talk every Wednesday. Get well soon, man. I know you're going to beat all the stuff that you're dealing with. I want to always say that to my boy, Corey Davis.
Absolutely, man. Get well soon, KD. Mm-hmm. All right, man. You have a good night, John Jay. All right. That was John Jay, 49ers Ultimate Report. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, if you guys like the move that the 49ers did to bring in a running back, a weapon like Christian McCaffrey, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. We have another gentleman that we're going to bring on tonight. He goes by the name of David McNew. What's good? How you doing tonight, Dave?
Well, first things first, I'd like to thank John Lynch and the 49ers for costing me about an hour and a half of sleep at this point. I mean, they could have made this trade earlier. I'm just saying, right?
Yeah, you could have made it earlier in the day, earlier in the week, you know?
Yeah. But, I mean, I was on the fence. You know, when I heard all the reports, I was on the fence about CMC because of his injury history. You know, but they made the trade. So at the point, it's time to just roll with it.
Right.
I mean, he is a fantastic athlete when he's on the field. Keeping him healthy, the way I look at it is we have Eli Mitchell, we have TDP, we have Jeff Wilson Jr. We do not have to use this guy like Carolina did.
Right.
So I honestly think there's a good chance we can keep him healthy. What's up, Bryant? And you know, in the end, we get a fantastic athlete. You know, my first thoughts is we need to trade for a center and an interior defensive lineman because of, you know, Javon Kinlaw, and he's a big question mark.
Yeah.
But at this point, I guess we're gonna roll with Brendel. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, we definitely could use an upgrade at center. You know, I was saying in last year's draft, yeah, we definitely need to get a center, but clearly it wasn't really a position of priority for the 49ers. I'm sure they figured, well, we can just draft a guard and move him to center or whatever. And that's kind of like what they did. I think Brendel has been somewhat of a disappointment so far, but, you know, it seems like the 49ers and Shanahan are riding with that decision. But and you mentioned the defensive tackles were definitely thin there. I think we did bring on a defensive tackle. I think he's on the practice squad now. But with Kinlaw out multiple weeks, Armstead's probably he's just not going to be healthy the entire year. The 49ers could have traded for a defensive tackle. But I would say this move absolutely helps the 49ers offense. And that's what, you know, this offense has had trouble scoring in the second half. And I think this absolutely could help, you know, the offense for sure. And what do you think about the picks, man? Because that is one side to this trade. I mean, to give up 4 picks for a running back, what do you think about that, man?
We've always filled out our roster with 1-year contracts and guys that are you know, fringe players. So I'm not too worried about it, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we do get the Mike McDaniels. Like, don't we get one more 3rd rounder for him?
Yes. So, yeah, I think we still have that. So I think next year we still have a total of 10 picks, but they're all basically two 3rd round picks, 2 5th round picks, 1 6th round pick, and 4 7th round picks. So still have a total of 10 picks. The Niners, we know historically the Niners have done their best drafting on day 2 and day 3. So, you know, and if we want, we have a good amount of picks where we can trade up into the 2nd round if we want to. By combining picks. So I think does this move for you, when you heard this trade, does this move mean that the 49ers are all in for this season?
I'm going to say yes. I mean, well, and honestly, the guy's under contract for until he's 29.
Yep, he's got 3 more years.
So,
yeah.
I mean, this isn't a bad move considering the potential he has with us.
Yeah.
And I mean, giving up that many picks, oh well, you know. I mean, I'd say look at the Rams, they did it, but look at the Rams, they did it. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah,
their offensive line is horrible, and they're not getting better. So
no, I agree.
I mean,
yeah, and
as
you mentioned before, in Carolina, you know, he was used as the bell cow back. You know, he had over 800 touches in his first 3 seasons with the Panthers. And he's not going to be used like that with the 49ers. He's going to have so much open space. He's going to have so many one-on-one matchups because he didn't have this type of talent with the 49ers that he had with the Panthers. So, you know, it's going to be less carries for Debo. And I just hope that Shanahan doesn't use him kind of like how he's been using Jeff Wilson Jr. this year. You just kind of gotta hope he doesn't use him like that. But there's no mistake the talent that Christian McCaffrey has.
Oh yeah. Well, you know he can catch passes out of the backfield. Right. He's going to be. I hope Shanahan doesn't use him like a bell cow. I hope he uses him like the primary running back. But then you got to sprinkle in Eli Mitchell. I mean the kid almost had 1,000-yard season last season and he missed games. Exactly. So you have to sprinkle him in. Yeah. Jeff Wilson Jr. I think those 2 fumbles. I was saying that guy's going down the depth chart because of those fumbles. Shanahan does not like that.
Yeah,
and it just happened, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't wait to get Eli Mitchell back. I mean, Eli Mitchell and McCaffrey in the backfield. That's going to be that's going to we're going to be running over fools. Let them stack the box.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be a lethal combination, and now it's a crowded running back room. So if you had your choice outside of Juice, who would you have? Who would be your top 3 or top 4 running backs? Because I think the 49ers will have to make either a roster move where they take a running back, either they release or they move one running back to the practice squad. So if you had your druthers, who would be your top 4 running backs in this running back room right now?
Well, McCaffrey, Mitchell.
No.
We haven't seen what TDP can do, but you always need a bruiser. You need a bruiser for short yard situations. So he would definitely be number 3.
Yeah.
And then number 4, we've never seen Jordan Mason for whatever reason. We don't know why. And that has me wondering what's going on there. I thought Shanahan was saving him, like his ace in the hole type of thing,
Yeah.
But I mean, I honestly think Jordan Mason's the odd guy out. And I would hate to lose him to another team, but if it happens, it happens. And we're going to have Jeff Wilson Jr. as the number 4.
Yeah, I mean, Shanahan loves his vets. He loves guys that know his system, and he likes that. He likes to be able to be comfortable with guys who know what to do when they don't have the ball in their hands, pass protection, things like that. And Jeff Wilson Jr. and Tevin Campbell, they know the system. So, Tevin Coleman. They know the system, and I think that's part of the reason why they're on this roster right now. But yeah, I think TDP, there's no way they're cutting TDP. He's a 3rd round pick this year. I know they cut Sermon, but they allowed Sermon to stay on this roster 2 years. So I would agree with you. McCaffrey, Mitchell, TDP, and then I would think Jordan Mason, the guy, he was an undrafted free agent. So I don't think he's going to make the squad. He can't get on the field right now on offensive plays. So yeah, I think Jordan Mason is probably the odd man out. And maybe he'll go back to the practice squad. That's what I think would happen. But man, I appreciate you coming on to the show tonight, man. You're always welcome. Any last words for the crowd? Or actually, how about give me a prediction for the Chiefs game? Niners winning or losing this game?
I think I honestly picked us to lose. Just because right now we're the mass unit of the NFL. We are the most injured team in the NFL. But you never know. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and again, right? So, I mean, Shanahan, I honestly think our team plays down to the bad teams and up to the good teams. So it should be a good game. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I hope we walk out of there with a W, but I picked the Chiefs to win. I hate to say it.
I can't blame you. My heart says take the Niners, but my head says take the Chiefs. They're a really, really talented team. And it's going to be an uphill battle on Sunday. But with McCaffrey, we don't know how much he'll play. But I think the real issue, obviously, is the offense. Definitely the offense needs to score in the second half. But without basically, I think Mooney Ward didn't practice today. So that's the 2nd day in a row he did not practice. Most likely he's not going to play. He's not going to play on Sunday. So we don't have the corners right now. And I think that's a huge deal going up against one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. So
that's true.
Like you, I hope I'm wrong, but yeah, I got a feeling the Chiefs may have the upper hand. But I don't know about you. I'm willing to accept the defeat as long as we beat the Rams. Then we're 4-4 heading into the bye week. We're undefeated in the division. So I would take that right now.
Hey, and a game up on last year. Remember, we started 3-5.
That's true. So yeah, absolutely right, man. But hey, you're always welcome to call, man. You have a good rest of your night, man.
All right, man. You too. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you, David. All right. That was David McNew. Appreciate everyone who decided to call in. I love having these call-in shows, and I think this is huge news. We'll see how much Christian McCaffrey plays this game on Sunday against the Chiefs. We'll see. He still got to learn a playbook. He still got to learn pass protections, things like that. I would imagine we'll see anywhere between 5 to 10 plays for McCaffrey. And also, huge shout out to everyone that were leaving comments in the chat. I appreciate that. I think Katie had a super chat. Appreciate that as well. I will have a pregame show this Sunday, I believe at 11:45 a.m. Tune in to Jay and the Bay YouTube channel. We'll preview the game versus the Chiefs. Also, I will have a post-game call-in show as well. I think Sunday at 6 p.m., I believe. So feel free to call in there. But yeah, make sure you leave a like before you head out. And if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to Jay and the Bay. Hit that bell notification. And go Niners. And what a hell of a trade to bring in Christian McCaffrey.